Today we'll just stick with eyes, right? So you're staring at screens all day, dealing with dryness, or worried about long-term eye health. Your diet might actually be accelerating that damage. Hi, my name is Mo Gaius. Essentially, I'm a kid who's obsessed with winning. Hello, welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo, and today's episode is regarding 5 foods to improve your eye health and eyesight. So many of us take our eyesight and vision so for granted, but lately, all of us are on our screens almost all day, every day, whether you're working a corporate job, whether you're a doctor, whether a lawyer, whatever profession you're at, we are working with computers all day, staring into the screen. And what organ helps us see that, right? That is our eyes. Our eyes are super crucial. And today we'll talk about eye health. I'm no ophthalmologist or optometrist. These are things that I've done with my own research and I've learned. So basically, a lot of the things I'll talk about are kind of, nutrition coaching area of my specialty, but also the research I've done on this topic because I have a 20/20 eyesight and I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful for it. But I noticed there's like nowadays, my nephews, I just see even younger kids, just due to the fact they're on their iPhones and iPads a lot, they're starting to wear glasses a lot sooner than my generation was. I'm millennial, right? So it's just, that's one thing I'm noticing. And I'm like, okay. So I started researching about it. And obviously when you go to your doctor, they can prescribe you certain things. But I think at the end of the day, a lot of this comes down to food. So let's talk about food. What are some foods that can actually help? So I dug deeper into it. So this episode kind of breaks down my entire research, but also you're going to walk with some very good takeaways. So let's dive in, right? Most people only think about food when it comes to weight loss or muscle building, right? But almost nobody thinks about food for their eyes. And I think that is one of the biggest misconceptions. That same concept actually applies to skin. People care so much about their skincare, but if they only improve the food quality and eat the foods that improve your skin, they will actually be better off than spending more and more on their skincare routines that are super expensive. But that's for a different day. Today, we'll just stick with eyes, right? So you're staring at screens all day, dealing with dryness, or worried about long-term eye health. Your diet might actually be accelerating that damage. So today, I'll break down 5 foods, but actually it's going to be 11 proven foods that protect your eyesight, because I'm giving you guys a little bit of bonus. And if you can check some of these foods, if you can check the boxes for some of these foods, you'll be really in a really good spot. And some of these foods you might, if you've been listening to Healthy Systems, you might already have in your diet, which is super good. Because the crazy thing about healthy eating is that healthy eating is not just for weight loss or diet foods, right? Healthy eating is going to help you across all areas. It's going to help all organs of your body, including your skin, including your eyes, etc., and your brain, right? When I eat really healthy, I feel sharper and I'm able to get so much more done. So all of this is super connected. So first, with eyes, in regards to your eyes, let's talk about why food matters so much. So your eyes, right, they rely on tiny arteries for oxygen and nutrients. So when we have bad diet, those arteries get clogged up and those inflamed vessels lead to faster aging of your vision. Okay. So let me say that again. Your eyes rely on tiny arteries for oxygen and nutrients. So when you have a really bad diet or you're eating junk food a lot, those arteries get clogged up, leading to inflamed vessels, which leads to faster aging of your vision. So what are nutrients that are actually helpful that if we give those to our eyes and to those arteries, your eyesight will improve or it will prevent it from deteriorating? So the nutrients that are really useful are nutrients like vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, the ACE, right? A, C, E. And then you have lutein, and then you have zeaxanthin, zinc, omega-3s. These are all things, and I'll walk you through the foods that are high in these nutrients so you can actually start eating those foods. Because it's one thing to have the knowledge, it's a whole other thing to apply the knowledge. And knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is, right? So here, I want to give you the foods you can easily add instead of having to memorize fancy biochemistry terms, right? If you just add those foods, you'll be really better off. And that's kind of like a side joke because when I was in college, I first 2 years I studied biochemistry and I graduated with a biochemistry minor. But all my biochemistry professors who understood human metabolism really, really well, and they had those fancy chemical pathways and Krebs cycle and everything, they were all fat and overweight. And I used to think, I'm like, how can you know all about the biochemistry of fat metabolism and all this and still be fat? And that was because they had the knowledge, not the applied knowledge. They didn't know how to apply exercise, nutrition, all of that stuff that gets you results. So today, I'm giving you the scientific side of eye health, but I'm also going to give you applicable things that you can apply, the foods you can easily add to your day to day and get way more benefits than somebody who has a PhD in eye health, right? Because I certainly don't. So when you have nutrients like vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, lutein, zeaxanthin, zinc, omega-3s, what they do is they protect against cataracts and macular degeneration, which is often the number one cause of vision loss as we age. So macular degeneration is just, it's deteriorating, right? It's just that part of the eye is just deteriorating, which leads to vision loss as we age. And there's a really nice NIH, National Institute of Health study that says that high intake of these nutrients, vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, lutein, zeaxanthin, zinc, omega-3s. They did a study which showed that high intake of these nutrients actually slowed the progression of age-related eye disease significantly. So as we get older, our eyes and vision and their naturally aging just deteriorates those parts of the eyes and the progression of it. But if you have these nutrients in your diet, it's going to slow down that progression, which is a super, super good thing. So let's dive into the foods, the application, the things that you can just start adding this weekend or whenever you're listening to this podcast as soon as today. So the 11 foods that will actually boost your vision. Number one, super easy one, you'll actually love it, is sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are actually vitamin A powerhouse, meaning you eat one medium-sized sweet potato that will give you 200% of your daily needs of vitamin A. And it supports night vision as well as prevents dry eye. So sweet potato. Number two, carrots. This is obviously a lot of people know carrots are great for eye health. So this is classic vitamin A source, helps your retina turn light into images, right? Vitamin A does that. Carrots have vitamin A. So carrots are directly good for eye health. So we talked about sweet potatoes, carrots. Number three, spinach and kale. So now we're getting into green vegetable side, right? So spinach and kale are loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin. So they filter the blue light and protect the macula, especially when we're sitting on computer screens all day, we're getting a lot of blue light. That's why I keep my blue blockers here. On my podcasting, I take them off just because my light's on. So it just kind of looks blurry. But overall, you want the blue light glasses if you don't already have them. But spinach and kale are great for that. Then number four is eggs. Eggs are great. A lot of you are already eating eggs for breakfast, but eggs are great because they contain bioavailable lutein and healthy fats for nutrient absorption, right? So far we've talked about four foods. Sweet potatoes, great for vitamin A. Carrots, great for vitamin A. Spinach and kale, loaded with lutein and zeaxanthin. Number four was eggs, which are loaded with lutein as well as healthy fats for nutrient absorption. Now we're getting into number five. Now we're getting into more fruits. So you have citrus fruits that are really good. So you have oranges, grapefruit, strawberries. Okay, right? So we talked about vitamin A is good for your eyesight. We also talked about lutein and zeaxanthin, which are great for it. Now we're talking about vitamin C, right? We need vitamin C as well. So vitamin C, what it does is it fights free radical damage from ultraviolet rays, right? Pollution, junk food. So when you have oranges, grapefruit, strawberries in your diet, you're going to naturally get that vitamin C, which is going to help your eyes fight the free radical damage from the sun, from the UV light. And then you also have number six, which is red bell peppers, right? So more vitamin C than oranges. So if you want to knock out two birds with one stone, here's what you can do. In your omelet in the morning, the eggs that you're going to use, add in some red bell peppers. That's what I do every day, or my wife makes it for me. So more vitamin C than oranges, and it's an excellent antioxidant source. So red bell peppers are great for vitamin C. So with eggs, you can get the lutein as well as the fats for nutrient absorption, but also adding bell peppers, red bell peppers specifically, they're going to be more vitamin C than even oranges. And then you obviously have almonds. So now we're going into nuts a little bit, and then sunflower seeds. So vitamin E keeps eye cells healthy. So almonds have vitamin E. So now they're going to keep the eye cells healthy and then slow age-related damage. And then my favorite, actually, I've been craving this for a little bit, which is salmon. Salmon and sardines. So this is number 8. Salmon and sardines have tons of omega-3s, which reduce the dry eyes and keep the retina of your eye healthy, which is super good. And then now we're getting into beans. So number 9 is black beans, kidney beans. Those are rich in zinc. So they protect your retina, and they also have copper, which protects your red blood cells and keeps them healthy. Number 10, lean red meat. Okay. Lean red meat, especially in moderation. Don't overdo it because it's very high in calories. So it might lead to more fat gain, which we don't want. But lean red meat is super good. It has a lot of absorbable zinc for long-term eye health. And the last one is blueberries. So antioxidants improve blood flow and reduce oxidative stress in the eyes. So to summarize all of this, what are the nutrients we need? We need vitamin A, we need vitamin C, we need vitamin E, we need lutein, we need zeaxanthin, and as well as we need zinc. These foods will get you all of them. So I'll just lay it all out. 11 foods that are good for your vision and eye health. Sweet potatoes, carrots, spinach and kale, eggs, citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, strawberries, red bell peppers, almonds, salmon, sardines, black beans, kidney beans, lean red meat, as well as blueberries. You get these in your diet throughout the week. Matter of fact, some of these you can have them every single day, right? Like I would recommend you can have carrots every single day. You could even have sweet potatoes with lunch every day. You could have eggs every single day, spinach and kale every single day. You can have an orange or two every single day. You can have the red bell peppers with your omelet every morning. You could also have almonds with your breakfast, salmon with dinner, right? With some black beans if you like for lunch or something like that. Lean red meat throughout the week, as well as blueberries as a snack option in your house. You get those 11 foods, and these foods, once you get into a healthier lifestyle, especially if you're trying to lose weight, you should already be eating a lot of these food. It's only going to help your eyesight, okay? So now, how to actually use this, right? So aim to get 3 to 4 of these foods into your daily meals, if not all of them. If you give me a challenge and you're like, you have to get all of them, I could easily make it happen. You know what I mean? So it can definitely be done. So here's like, if I had to gun to my head, if I had to come up with a meal plan, I would do my breakfast with eggs, spinach, kale, as well as red bell peppers. I'll just make it an omelet and be able to fit it all in. And then my lunch would likely have a carrot or two with salmon or sardines, or I could even do lean red meat with some beans or rice even. And then my dinner would likely either be salmon or beef. And then I would use a carb, like maybe either beans, or I could just do rice. And then I would do vegetables like spinach and kale. And then during the day for snacks, I would use blueberries for sure. I would have an orange or two. And I literally crossed all of them already. And I would have almonds throughout the day if I want a snack. You literally could get all of these very effortlessly into your diet, right? So you pair vitamin A, lutein, zeaxanthin foods with healthy fats like eggs or avocado for better absorption. And then you can also use the blue blocking glasses. Blue blocking glasses will actually help your eyes a lot too, because then they prevent the light from directly hitting your eyes. So yeah, just remember, you cannot outwork a junk diet. So start with whole foods and use these foods as your staple, because first of all, they're going to help you lose fat. They're going to help you build more muscle, but also they're going to help your eyesight a lot. One of the best things I've learned over the years after consuming a lot of information, and I was hanging out with one of my dentist friends, and I was talking to her, and I was like, isn't it funny how things that are good for us are also good for all of our organs? You know what I mean? Like when you drink certain things, like she was talking about, she's a dentist, so she's like, yeah, that is not good for, that stains the teeth, or this does this. And then we're talking about her like, yeah, smoking is bad for your teeth, this is bad for your teeth. And I was like, that's fascinating, because smoking is also bad for your lungs, right? She's like, yeah, isn't it crazy how things that are good for us are good for all of our organs, and things that are bad for us are bad for all of our organs. So as you start eating healthier, your eyesight, your skin cells, all of that stuff starts healing and starts getting better. So here's what I'll do for you. If that was too much and you want a written document, I've created it already, kind of like a cheat sheet. And we can also add in some supplements or things that you currently might not be able to get with your diet all alone. I've already created a 1-page document for you. and I'll send you the links. Just DM me the word healthy eyes and then I'll send it over. But essentially what you want is to get these foods in your diet, and yeah, anything we can do to help will be there. So the blue blocking glasses will genuinely help. And then obviously getting these 11 foods in your diet will certainly help. But if you're unable to get them and if you want even better eyesight, they also have supplements for obviously zinc supplements are there, but also lutein and zeaxanthin. Those are tough to get sometimes, but you can certainly get those on Amazon just in one. I think it's like $15, $20. And then you can start supplementing with those. So if you want that cheat sheet, just DM me the word eye health on Instagram or on Facebook. On Facebook, it's just Moegias, MoeghIas, or on Instagram, even easier, it's the same exact, MoeghIas. And then just message me the word eye health, and then my assistant or myself even will just send you the cheat sheet, and then you can just start getting to work. But hopefully this helps. If you want me to do more episodes like this, just let me know. I really enjoy researching for stuff like this because I've been fascinated by our eye health. We actually even have two eye specialists. One of them is an ophthalmologist and one's an optometrist as a client. So a lot of this stuff, you know, even those people, they're like, yeah, this is like, once you get your diet in order, your eye health dramatically improves. It's night and day difference. It's almost like you're living in a fog when you don't have all that stuff in order. And then when you start eating healthy, start prioritizing your health, you hire a coach, you start getting your shit in order, it's just, you start feeling amazing. And that's where fitness gets addicting. And I don't even like eating junk food anymore, not because it makes me fat, but because I just don't feel good when I eat it. No parts of my body feel great when I eat it. So that's where fitness becomes a lifestyle. And if we can be of service to you, if we can help you in that journey, just reach out. I have a full-on coaching program where I coach clients one-on-one, my team and I, and we can literally take your health from where you're at to where you want to go within the next couple of months. So either way, here to help. And I'll see you guys on the next one, and keep enjoying. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. One, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Moegias, M-O-E-G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.